Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and trends shaping our world. I'm your host, Walter. Today, we're going to explore a critical issue in international relations as the United States faces a significant challenge in its strategy towards Asia. The U.S. has been attempting to pivot towards Asia for years, with a focus on deepening economic engagement and strengthening security ties with regional allies. However, this approach has been incomplete, lacking a comprehensive economic or governance strategy to support its security objectives. As a result, the U.S. is now considering retrenchment, which could have far-reaching consequences for the region. According to Zach Cooper, a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, the U.S. is likely to pull back from some of its commitments in Asia, leaving allies and partners wondering what the future holds. This uncertainty could embolden China, which has been increasingly assertive in the region, and potentially lead to a catastrophic failure of deterrence. The implications of this retrenchment are significant, with potential consequences for hundreds of millions of people in Asia. Japan's former Prime Minister, Fumio Kishida, has already expressed concerns about the U.S. role in the world, detecting an undercurrent of self-doubt among Americans. As the U.S. navigates this new reality, it will need to make difficult decisions about where to maintain its commitments and where to pull back. As we consider the complexities of this issue, it's essential to approach the topic with a nuanced perspective, recognizing the challenges and opportunities that arise from the U.S. retrenchment in Asia. We'll be examining this story in more depth, exploring the potential consequences and implications for regional stability. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. Today, we're discussing a crucial topic that affects many women in the workforce, the menopause penalty. This phenomenon refers to the economic inequality faced by women during their midlife years, often due to the collision of menopause symptoms with rigid work systems. Recent research suggests that menopause is not the sole culprit behind this issue. Instead, it amplifies existing inequalities such as ageism, caregiving responsibilities, and unrealistic workplace expectations. Many jobs are still designed for a worker who is endlessly available, physically resilient, and largely free from caregiving responsibilities, which can lead to women reducing their hours or leaving work altogether. The menopause penalty represents a significant loss of human capital, as women in their late 40s, 50s, and early 60s often hold their highest levels of skill, institutional knowledge, and professional experience. To address this issue, experts recommend redesigning work for sustainability, making flexibility the norm, and recognizing caregiving as a normal life stage reality. Some potential solutions include rethinking workloads, hours, and performance expectations to allow for fluctuating capacity over time, offering autonomy over hours and location by default, and ensuring development opportunities exist throughout careers. Additionally, employers should track pay, promotions, and evaluations by age and gender to challenge stereotypes in leadership cultures. It's essential to approach this topic with fairness and balance, acknowledging the complexities of menopause and its intersection with workplace issues. By doing so, we can work towards creating a more inclusive and supportive environment for women in the workforce. Welcome back to Concrete Block. Today, we're going to dive into a complex and thought-provoking topic that has significant implications for global politics and governance. A recent article has shed light on the intersection of kleptocracy and foreign policy, particularly in the context of the United States. The authors argue that the current administration's approach to international relations is not only undermining the country's institutions, but also creating a self-reinforcing cycle of corruption that affects both domestic and foreign policies. The article suggests that the Trump administration's foreign policy is characterized by a kleptocratic approach where personal interests and gains are prioritized over the nation's welfare. This has led to a blurring of lines between public and private interests, with the administration's inner circle often benefiting from lucrative deals and relationships with foreign leaders. One of the most striking aspects of this phenomenon is how it has created an environment where corruption can thrive. The article notes that corruption abroad feeds corruption at home and vice versa. This has far-reaching consequences, including the erosion of trust in institutions, the undermining of democratic values, and the empowerment of authoritarian regimes. The authors also highlight the dangers of normalizing this type of foreign policy, which they argue is often mischaracterized as realism or great power competition. By downplaying the corrupt and kleptocratic aspects of the administration's approach, observers may inadvertently contribute to the problem, allowing it to persist and even worsen over time. It's essential to acknowledge that this is a complex issue, and opinions on the matter tend to be highly polarized. However, by examining the evidence and considering multiple perspectives, we can work towards a more nuanced understanding of the situation. The article serves as a timely reminder that corruption and kleptocracy are not just domestic issues, but also have significant international implications. As we conclude today's segment, it's crucial to recognize the importance of transparency, accountability, and good governance in preventing the spread of corruption. By promoting these values and supporting institutions that uphold them, we can help create a more just and equitable world. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.